Well, I forgot to make an intro to the fork video, but welcome to Innovate Ben. This is Ben Bailey. Let's roll right on into the fork video. For some reason, I didn't record one. Here you go. All right, so we were able to get that out, and due to that, I used the little star bit method. I just get a one size bigger star bit and hammer it in. I mean, it's not the best way to do it, but it did the job. And I've got the pretty Ava here. She's my other baby girl. So I went ahead and put a front stand on here because for me to run this around the neck, there is a let me see, that piece right up there that has 2 screws on it. That's a plastic piece that helps you from not hitting that bottom triple clamp. And I'm going to remove that so I don't damage it when I put the strap up under there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is pull the wheel off and go ahead and get all that off. All right, well, we got that little bracket off. It weighed 2 ounces. Anyway, went ahead and ran this through. So I'm going to go ahead and lift her up. And we're going to start, well, actually, before I lift the bike up, I'm going to undo some of these Allens right here and have those loose. I mean, down below, we still have the Allens for the lower triple clamps are holding them, but I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the top ones, and then we'll actually pick up. All right, well guys, they're out. I mean, it's pretty simple, sort of. You have to fight with fishing your hand up through there and turning it a couple rounds on each side for these lowers, and then you'll just have to, you know, bring them on out. Just make sure the upper is supported. And also, while you're pulling them out of this, make sure you keep this, like, right here, or it'll, like, try to come out crooked and this goes everywhere. So, because this bike's a little different, because it's got a solid one-piece top with the handlebar, or the clip, or dang it, or the handlebars are into the lowering link, or lowering top triple. Man, I can't even talk today. Anyway, you'll come over here to our fork. This is fork number 1. Yeah, those wheelies at the drag strip were not planned. But yeah, for number 1, for both of these, you want to loosen this 24mm top nut and just work it out. I've already busted this one loose, and I'm screwing it out, and I'll keep you updated. Also, it's easier to go ahead and adjust rebound all the way to the softest position, and I'm going to go ahead and do that now. And drop the thing. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up and get back on it. Alrighty, well, I wanted to get to a stopping point, so I got to a little bit of a stopping point just to show you guys. So, you're gonna need to have this tool. Luckily, my roommate had one, so I didn't really know where to find one, but I'm sure you can find one of these, like ProMotion might have one for sale. I'll probably just link in the description below. And then grab some good ratchet straps. Because, for one, this tool, it goes into holes on this side and this other side of this plastic bit in the fork. Because obviously you'll pull this up, and then the plastic will come up. And then you run the ratchet strap up under the bottom, push the fork ratchet the fork all the way up while this holds the plastic. And then while you're doing that, and you get it all the way, you basically just hold this and just pull it up. And then you'll also need this tool to slide under the nut right here. So, unfortunately, since I don't have any of my filming again, well, that's all the time, it was a huge pain in the ass. But, anyway, we ratcheted it up, got it up, went ahead and pulled this up and off. It's really tough. So next we're gonna undo this and go from there. And I'll also see if I can find this tool and link it as well, because my roommate did forks on his Gixxer. My roommate did forks on his Gixxer years ago and had these tools already. Actually, I did forget. You just hold this. Apologies for my nails. I've been working past couple days. Anyway, hold that 17 millimeter down there, and then the 24 up top, and it'll break loose relatively easy. And all you do is just take it, screw it off. And set that down. There's a rod in here. Also make sure everything's super clean when coming out. Oh boy. Ooh, we need to put this right here. It's for safekeeping. And I'm gonna go ahead and just move this over to this box as well. That way I can clean those when I'm done in a bit. So on to the next part. All right, so you'll pull that out first once you release the clamps. And then secondly, you will have the spring. And then there's gonna be a washer on top. And just remember the way they come out. So I'm gonna set that there, the washer on top. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put this over here. And then we can bust this thing loose, and I'm gonna go ahead and drain the fork oil out. All right, so, well, we pretty much got that off. Set the fork over there. Now, when you take this off initially after, pulling the top of everything off, just hold that by the bottom. Well, this is a terrible example. Anyway, if you just grab this like I showed you a minute ago, because I had it oriented this way. If you grab this with that thing still, or the bottom still hanging out, you swing it over, and then it drops down, and you get a big old oily mess like this. I'm just warning you. So, anyway, since it's drained, I stuffed some paper towels in there. That way none of the fork oil that's residual in there, which there's not really any, it'll just get caught in that paper towel. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this dust boot off. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my screwdriver, and I'll basically pop it in there and pop it off. I'll show you in a second. All right, so all I did, put screwdriver in, well, obviously over there, and hit it with the hammer, and it started prying up. So that's how you remove the dust seal. So to remove this clip, all I pretty much did was just put a screwdriver in there, and it popped right on out. So next, we're gonna go ahead and get these actual fork seals out. And all we're gonna really do is just work around with a screwdriver. I might need a longer one. And just work it out, and we'll go from there. All right, so took that tool and worked around the edges on the inside, and it popped right on out. And right now we're gonna go ahead and grab this, grab this washer, and just remember that the washer goes in like that. So just like that. So we don't want to jack that up. What am I doing with the camera? Anyway, now I'm just going to thoroughly clean everything. I'm going to wipe down the tubes, make sure everything dries out. and go from there. Yeah, because you really want to make sure everything's clean when it goes back together. All right, so we got our fork oil. Also make everything's clean. Then we got our seal. So basically, the seal, this is the fork seal, obviously. That's what I said. Okay. This part with the larger indent or hole in it, or ridge in it, goes down. So this one goes up. This one goes down. So that's basically what I've gathered. So, well, shoot, well, I'm stupid. But anyway, I'm stupid because I want to lube up this seal a little bit before I try to slide it in there. Actually, this goes in first. This is that O-ring, and then I need to put it in before I drive in the seal. All right, so basically the same way, go in, they came out. Rounded end down, flat end up. You got the new clip. Dust seal. The dust seal, you can tell you want this with the ridge right here pointing basically down. So it goes in the flatter part down, explained earlier. So you're going to put it in, and you're going to use the tool to cinch it all the way in on top of the metal ring right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, once that's in, go ahead and put this in, basically the same way it come out. Now I'm going to need two hands. All right, clips in. Then we're going to go ahead and come over here. I think I have cardboard. And I'm going to clean this off with some paper towels. And then slide the dust seal on it. And slide it and go from there. All right, so slid this in. And then busted in the dust seal. I can't even think half the time. Anyway. So next... we basically have to go grab it, put this rod in. So this rod, you wipe it off, make sure everything's clean. This rod will be going back down in the hole in the middle right there. Alright, once you've cleaned the rod, stuck it in, next we will fill it full of fork oil, and then we'll measure with this measure. You need to set this measure at 124 for the GSXR 1000. So once you set that, and you pour that in, set that, and then once it hits the 124 mark, you're good to go. All right. Get the spring. We're gonna have to wipe that off. The washer for the spring and the plastic piece. Go ahead and grab the top. Come back over here. Let's go ahead and set things down and wipe them off. All right, so once you slid the spring back in there and the washer, you put this back on, the plastic piece, and then we'll put that back on. Alright, so once you use the tool to bring that up, you slide this back in here, and then set this from the top of this nut to the top of the threads to 11 millimeters, and I'm going to use the calipers to set that right now. Alright, now we'll put the top part back on. Since we have the thread set to 11 millimeters, this bottom nut's a 17 millimeter, and then the top, we will use our 24 millimeter to torque this to 11 foot-pounds. All right, she's torqued, so we're going to go ahead and remove this, and this collar should pop up onto here, and I'll show you in a second. Tool removed, this come up, this collar sits on this. And now to release, straps are released. Now, time to take this collar back off. Oh. So basically all you're going to do is thread it back out. Alright, once you thread that out, we are basically ready to... Oh, come on. There we go. Right. Come up. There. Terrible. But starts threading this back in. And you will tighten these once it's back on the bike. Alright, so I slid the forks back up through the triple tree and everything. And I'm also lowering the bike a little. So that my measurement will be different from yours. Usually people do about 7 millimeters and measure with a caliper above. I'm making this, this is 1.5 inches. It's like a safe, not too low, not sky high type ordeal with this. So I measured both of the calipers, set them. I went ahead and cinched down these top bolts, but we're gonna go ahead and torque these right here onto 16.5 foot-pounds. All right, grab my cobalt wrench, turn it on. Go ahead and bump this up to 16.5. Oops. All right. Well, I may go ahead and set it on the ground for this. Well, actually, I'm going to hold the handle and do it off camera. That way I can hold it. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the fork seals and installing the forks back into the bike. So, I'll also have some more videos coming out on, you know, the clutch. I'm in the middle of that. Putting the wheel on, setting my final height. I've got the lowering link. Got the rear tire back on. Yeah, dealing with cleaning the clutch cover. Be super careful if you use that. And yeah, just getting mods done as I can. So, alright, well, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.